Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Wola Zabierzowska. Okay, so what are we doing here? Right, this is a challenge called the Triple Threat Challenge. And this was created by Zorch Farming. So I'm going to kind of do a quick rundown of the kind of setup. This is not the map I'm playing on. I've already got one set up elsewhere, which we will go into once we've done this setup. So, for this setup, we can go into the settings first. So, one of the sort of side quests on this is to play it on hard difficulty. You must have it on seasonal growth, 1 day per month. I can't remember if he said it has to be 1 day or you can have as many days as you want, but I play on 1 day. The rest of the options are entirely up to yourself. I've got crop destruction on. I've kind of still got this kind of set up the way, but I had weeds off. So yeah, the rest of the settings are all your choice. Um, you can do contracts on this challenge. You can borrow the equipment to do the challenge, the contracts as well. You cannot lease any vehicles or equipment. It all has to be owned for you personally for your farm. But if you've got the equipment to do the contracts, then all well and good. So there's not really much else that needs to be said about this. So the whole part of this challenge, the triple threat challenge, is a randomizer challenge. Now, what we mean by the randomizer challenge is on the map, just remembering from what Zorch was saying on his, there are 44 crop types. So you're going to want to put all of these crops into a randomizer, whether it's an online randomizer or write them all down on a piece of paper and drop something on the page to pick a crop type. Now, I got soybeans on my one. So, as you can see here, I've deselected all of them apart from soybeans. You can actually see up here 53, 135, 179, etc., etc. You have to purchase all these fields, harvest the crops that are on them. So, your soybeans on all these fields, and they are your fields. Now, when you do, or hopefully if you do, because by the time you get to buying these, there might not actually be the crop might be withered or it might be already harvested or whatever. You still need to replant soybeans. So on all these fields that I have that I need to buy, I cannot put anything else on those fields apart from soybean. So with that said, once you have your crop and the amount that you've got. Now, you will need to bear in mind that there are some, I did find some of these did not actually exist on the. Okay, so we've got carrots, red beets. They are not actually on the map. So if you do get that on the randomizer, you'll have to check the map. If it's not there, you'll have to redo the randomizer. So, uh, buy all these fields, harvest them, drill them. Then you cannot sell the crop directly. You must buy a production on the map that utilizes the crop that you're harvesting. So for soybeans, I will need to buy, if I can remember which one it was now. Uh, where are we now? Oil mill. I can't remember exactly what one. Oh, preserved. There we go. Jarred green beans. So I need to buy the preserved food factory, which is £330,000. I need to buy that and then turn the soybeans into jarred green beans, then I can sell. So that's kind of what my production is going to be in relation to my fields. Okay, so once you've bought all these fields, now I don't know, I may be corrected on this, but I cannot remember if you have to do the threats in order, but we'll go with in order. So once you've done that and you're replanting and harvesting, replanting your fields and then producing everything, the second threat is your debt. Now, you start with a debt of 250,000, but I'm going to get into the whole setup thing in just a moment. Um, you need to do another randomizer for the the debt. Okay, so your debt should, after the setup's done, be about 150,000. So the next randomizer you're going to do is one you do every January. Okay, which is a yes and no. So for the first question of yes and no, you're going to ask, and I'm just looking at the notes here, um, in January to determine if you're able to pay off all or part of the loan. So if you get yes, you can pay part or all of the loan. If you get no, you're stuck with that loan. Okay, so if you get no, then you must ask the randomizer, if you get no, if you need to take out another 100,000 from and add that onto your debt. Hopefully you get no, but if you do get yes, and you keep getting that every January, is going to be adding on to your debt that you need to try and pay off. Um, so if yes, you take an extra 100,000. If no, you keep the current loan you have for a year with no change. So you cannot pay that off until the randomizer the following year tells you you can pay it off. So you can pay it off then throughout the year if you wanted to, but once you get to January, you're going to have to ask again. Um, what I will say is that if you get to January the following year and you have paid off the loan, you're going to end up asking the randomizer if you need to take out 100,000. It'll add 100,000 to your bank, which is probably be a bonus at the time, but it's going to add 100,000 debt. So you're going to be stuck with 100,000 debt for another year. So it's going to be one of those really, really ongoing things. So for threat three, this is a good one, random animal assignment. Okay, so you've got your animals, which we don't have there, but you've got your animals, all the livestock animals. So you've got your cows, you've got your water buffalo, you've got your chickens, you've got your sheep, your goats, every other livestock. Bees and dog do not count. Okay, so you're going to have to put all those animals into a randomizer, and you're going to get one animal, and that's the animal you're going to be with for your farm. Um, so whatever it chooses, you must incorporate into your farm, and you must have at least 250 of those animals in the pen. Now, I know some pens you'll only get 50 animals, but as long as you have the equivalent on your farm of 250, so you can have two pens at 125 if you wanted, as long as there's 250 in total. Um, so, as I said, the side goal before was to play on hard difficulty and do not collect any collectibles. Collectibles are something that are not to be collected. So with that out of the way, we are going to start setting up. So what we're going to do is we are going to go here to field 222 and we are going to buy. And then to the left and right, you've got field number 44 on the right here. You're going to buy that one. And then field 38. Right. So that's that. Now, visit the farm. Now you have a choice here. You must get rid of the house. That's a given. Okay, so now you're left with three buildings. You've got an animal pen here, which is a sheep barn. Don't know how many it holds, but so you've got a silo and three sheds. Now, you get to choose to keep one of those items. So one of the three sheds, or you can keep the sheep barn, or you can keep the silo. But either way, if you keep the silo, you must get rid of all the rest of the bits on the farm. If you keep the sheep pen, you got to get rid of the silo and the three sheds, etc., etc. So I went with the silo. So what I'm going to do is we're going to sell the sheep barn, and then we're going to sell these three sheds, and that is them out of the way. And there is a fence here, and I think that was, yep, that was it. Right, so we are now on to 267,000. Now you need to buy a house. Now you can rebuy the house originally, but we've got to buy a house, and I think he said it's got to be around 60,000. So it's got to be around 60,000. Just find the house I went with. I can't remember which one it was now. Uh, do, do, do. I honestly can't. You cannot use these ones at all. The cheap ones, the hobo house, the tents and the mats and that. You cannot use them at all. Oh, there's this one. This is the one I went with. So I actually put mine over here. So you are going to see all this when we go into my game save. So that is that completely done. Now what we need to do is we need to go into the finances, and we're going to go and we are going to pay off 100,000 of this loan. So that leaves us with 150,000 left to pay on the loan and 127,372 in the bank. And that is yours to do with what you want. So we do have, now the fields will always be the same every time you load into this game. So we've got rye on this side and we've got mustard on that side. They're always the same. They never actually change. So it will be corrected if I'm wrong, but there should be mustard. Yeah, it is mustard. They're both ready to harvest. So how you go about doing this, you could go and do contracts if you wanted. The good thing I have with the soybeans is the length of time I have. So soybeans, green beans. Um, where are we now? Was it green beans or was it soybeans? I can't remember which one it was now I had. It was soybeans. Yes, it was soybeans. I beg your pardon. It was soybeans. So now I actually have to go and recorrect my whole self on productions because I thought it was the green beans, but it was not. It was soybeans I had. Yes. So with the soybeans, I don't have to harvest until either October or November. So I've got 2 months to do what I need to do in order to get some extra money to maybe get ready for drilling, buying a field, drilling, and maybe get some equipment to do contract work if I wanted to, save some money on renting out the equipment. There was something else I needed to mention. Now, oh, I had it in my head there and I can't remember what it was. I have forgotten what I was going to mention. It'll hopefully come back to me. Hopefully. So what you could do here is you could, if what I did was I bought a tractor, I bought a trailer and a harvester with a header. Now you might get lucky and you might find something cheap that you can use in here in the used vehicle section. I managed to get myself a small tractor in here as well. I think it was this one. I think it was. I got it at a good price. Then I bought the trailer and obviously the harvester. So, but there is definitely something I was going to mention, and I think it was quite important, and I've forgotten what it was now. I'll probably, if I do remember what it was, I will mention, but I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. So now I need to actually, I don't know if soybeans, let's double check what I did there, because it should, I did green, I know it was soybeans I did, that's fine. Okay, okay. So it was soybeans. Now with these two fields of yours, you can do whatever you want with them. You could plant anything you want. So yeah, you could do something to get yourself ready for the next season if you wanted to. I personally will probably sell what I get on these fields, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do that or not. But not at the price they're at anyway. Um, it's really bugging me that I cannot remember what I was going to mention, and I think it was quite important. And it may slip my mind completely. Right, anyway, I'll probably remember it, and if I do remember it, I'll come back to you all. But yes, that is pretty much the setup that you've got there. I hope I will link Zorch's video for this setup if you want to go and watch his, which I would probably recommend because he does explain it a bit better than I can. Um, but yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a really, really good, could possibly be a long-lasting series for a while. So it's going to be something very, very interesting. So, right, I will leave this one here and we will go and jump over to my proper setup farm, and I will see you guys over there. Hello everybody and welcome back. So this is my farm setup here. So we're on my proper farm here. As I say, the house is pretty much in the same place as where I did the setup video. So here we have the setup I have here, the tractor, um, which is the Case Vestrum 110. This trailer here, which is the Lizard HL 15,000, so it's 15,000 litre that it can take. That's pretty cheap, that trailer. I don't like the swivel. I hate to say I despise the swivel because I can never park them unless I drive straight into a shed where you can go straight through it. I cannot park them for the life of me. So I will change that out eventually. But as you can see, I'm left with 21,297. I'm going to go into the settings a minute and I'm going to change that time to 5 times. There we go. So we went with the Massey Ferguson 5650 and the header that comes with it. Probably the cheapest one I could actually get, to be fair, that will give me a decent grain tank capacity. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with doing this field. Oh, before I forget, I did remember what it was I wanted to say. With the contracts, now you can um, borrow the equipment. So I'm assuming we're allowed to use the same equipment, say a fertilizer spreader, for one contract and use it on the second contract fertilizer. The only stipulation you have is you're only allowed to do 3 a month. So 3 a month is the maximum you can do. So you might want to choose wisely, um, because the difference in the difficulty setting is the difference in the money you're going to get. So make sure you choose wisely on what contracts you're wanting to do. Early game, it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. But yeah, so it depends on the difficulty you're on. Um, so I got with my animal, I actually got chickens. So I did find this here, which is only 18,000. It holds 330 chickens. My plan is to try and put it over here somewhere. So I'm thinking of putting it here next to the silo. I'm gonna try and figure out which side the eggs come out of. So I'll probably try and center it so I know where the eggs come out of, so I don't get too close to, because I've got crop destruction on. I don't want to run over any parts of my fields and stuff like that. So I don't normally play with crop destruction on. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me. Right, let's get going. So yeah, this is going to take a hot minute to do this. Um, these fields, so I don't know. I'll probably start with the rye. Now the problem, this is the only issue I have with this header. I don't know if I can actually recreate it, but we'll try. Now when you go to pick this up, it only goes that high. You lower it and raise it, and it goes all the way up there. But when you pick it up off the trailer, it only goes to the height of the initial, so about a foot off the ground, so it grips onto that trailer. So hopefully I won't need to use that too often. Right, let's see. So disable straw swath. Don't know if you can make a straw swath with this rye anyway, so I'm not too fussed. If I do, then I have no idea how I'm going to go about baling it and getting it picked up, because we can't lease any equipment. So yeah, I might have to try and figure something out with regards to possibly baling that. I didn't actually realize you can bale rye, but apparently you can. So I don't want to make the video too long. It was just basically going over the sort of rules. I'm sure I will tag Zorch into this so he can actually see himself if I've actually made any mistakes in the setup side of things or the explanation for the randomizer. But I think it's a great idea. It's an absolute great idea, because the only thing that's going to hinder me now is January. Because if it tells me I can't pay off the loan and I need to take out more of a loan, yes, it'll give me the money in the bank, which would be a great help to maybe go towards equipment or something. But if that debt keeps accumulating each year, then I am going to be scuppered. So yeah, I could possibly in maybe 3 or 4 years, I could probably accumulate a £500,000 debt, which yeah, I could probably struggle to pay off. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be very, very interesting. I think I am correct in saying as well, the only fields we're allowed to have are the ones that we've got now, the two we have, plus the ones we buy, and that's it. I don't think we're allowed to buy any more fields. That is, from what I'm gathering, that is correct, because the way that Zorch has put in the description, that's what shapes your farm. So yeah, it's going to be an uphill struggle, especially to afford the production, which I now need to figure out. Actually, I need to figure that out because I was doing green beans, but it's soybeans. So now I need to figure out what on earth, because I don't think you can do soybean flour. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do here, because if I don't have a production on the map for this, then I'm kind of scuppered, really, aren't I? I will be scuppered if I cannot find something. Canned beans, canned lentils, jarred green beans. So I am kind of. I hope I don't find something that's going to require more than one production. No, I'm kind of stuck. Oh, Zorch will need to help me with that one. Do I need to buy one now? Oh well, I have no idea. I might need to speak to Zorch himself and find out, because obviously I won't be allowed to use a cheap production. I don't actually know what I can turn soybeans into. And then I've got the problem of, if I buy a production, where am I putting it? This is going to be a bit of a struggle getting up this hill. Yeah, but it is nice to get back into the farming simulator side of things. I know I've been away from it for a little while, but I did do a video on a challenge from Cobbler Farms. So that's interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. It's called Back to the Future, where we turn old, an oldish farm into something more futuristic with the constructible buildings of all things. So yeah, we're not allowed to buy any of those standalone ones where you can just plop them down. You've got to actually build it, which is interesting. It's another thing as well with the crop destruction is you need to make sure that you can actually access the pipe with the trailer without damaging your crops. So, right. We'll unload this and carry on. What I might do is I'll probably just finish this off camera. As I say, this just a heads up on what is actually happening with this challenge, as I say, with regards to setup and everything else. So you've kind of got the idea of what I'm doing. Don't want to go and do animals too early. I want to try and, as I say, I don't know if you have to do it in order, but I'm probably going to do it in order. I'll buy all the fields, start doing all them, which will take time. and then go on to doing the animals, or I may do the animals halfway through doing the field work. I don't know yet. I don't know. So, but I'll leave it here for today, guys, and I'll finish this field off. So if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you are informed of all my uploads. So with that said, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all in the next one. But until then, bye for now.